Hello and welcome back. This is day 316 of streaming every single day and our 60-second art stream. Today we're going to be working more on our Alfina model concept today. I'd like to work on the hair that we couldn't finish last time because it just didn't look right to me. However, I did keep this part because I really liked this part that we had going on. So I'm going to keep this part. I think I might cut down on some of this stuff up here just to add to the clarity of the other hair pieces, but maybe right there or so. Okay, so we got that addressed now. Got our new layer. I feel like I should name some of these, but it's just a concept after all. I might draw with the darker color here. Yes, we're kind of just diving right into it today. I've just been really, like, hyped to do this, even just all night last night. I was just thinking about how I wanted to do this. I felt like I finally hit, like, a breakthrough, the kind of style I'm going through with my, my model. It felt so refreshing to finally start to kind of be able to make the things which I envision, if that makes sense. I think I should just kind of keep the same hairstyle intact. I don't want to make it too stringy. I want it to kind of resemble feathers, as we talked about in previous streams. I also don't want it to look too weird. Like, I want it to look kind of like, feathers or kind of like ears. Like, you know how some people have, like, these ears that are like this? Kind of like this. I kind of want her hair to look like that. Not too over the top, but just enough to, like, be able to look at and like. I don't want it to be annoying. That's all I know. I also don't want it to conflict with all the stuff here, because, I'm highly focusing on stuff that kind of draws your eyes. So this stuff here might be a little bit cluttery, but I'm hoping the eyes will balance that out. Even this part all here, this kind of draws your eyes if this were all to move. So I don't want to, like, clump too many things together. I also heard something about how the general VTuber shape is kind of like this shape. I'm hoping I don't end up making the same mistake. It's not that it's a mistake, actually, but, like, I kind of want her to look a little bit more unique. More like to my personality, so if she does end up coming out like that, then, that's completely fine. I do kind of want something different. Something that kind of stands out from the crowd, you know? And I know at one point that's probably going to be typically kind of impossible, because, like, I feel like it's so common for people to come up with the same kind of ideas, eventually. Even if it takes years, months, sometimes weeks. That's rarer, but it does happen sometimes. If I can, I want to start a new kind of subgenre? I don't know what it is. I know a lot of the English VTubers I've seen. I don't have any I can actually name. I don't know any that I can actually remember right now. But there's a lot that kind of, I feel like, go into the more adult side of content stuff, like jokes and stuff like that. And a lot of them aren't actually too serious about it either. But I feel like I just don't want to go in that route at all. Even for just, like, jokes, I guess. I feel like it's just kind of weird. So I'd like to try to make my content as family-friendly as possible. And hopefully not have too many weird jokes like that or anything. I think that's one of the biggest things for me. So that's where I think I probably would stand out a little bit, but I just don't think those get very popular. Which is not a problem with me. I just know that it takes a lot longer to get recognized. I kind of like that, though. I feel like having a time where you get to kind of bond with your audience before kind of like more traction gets brought to the channel, I think that's a good thing. I think getting to talk to your fans is nice. And for me, rather than just thinking of people as, oh, they're a fan, I think of them as, well, I could become friends with people too, even if they're just a fan. I feel like connection is connection, and you can't really just write it off as, oh, it's just someone who watches me. Like, no. I feel like connection is connection. I feel like a lot of people do think that, so I think that's nice. I have heard a lot of, like, stories recently, though. Like a lot of drama stories lately on Twitter, which I'm never on there, really. It's only been, like, the past week or so, I guess, I've been on there. Also, I don't really like this hairstyle. But I just hear a lot of, like, mistrust stories, and it kind of is disappointing, I guess. Because I had this kind of view of VTubing as kind of like a beautiful thing where even people who don't really want to show themselves could have an audience. I think that was like the coolest thing to me. I think that really like sits well with me. But then I'm just hearing like this new, well, not new, but apparently this, what do you call it? Not vendetta. It's like preconception from random people who don't really watch VTubers much, that they say it's kind of like to be expected that that toxicity happens in the VTubing sphere. And I'm like, what? Since when? I guess people just like to write people on their docs or documents or whatever. I'm like, what? Like, wait, how long has this been happening? And I guess it's been happening for a very long time, so I have just not been in touch with the VTubing community. At least on the viewing side of it. I've been more so on, like, wanting to be a VTuber, and I guess because of that I have completely not known what's been going on behind the scenes. And I just feel like there's a lot of room to... Wait, was that not... there's a lot of room to be unique. There's a lot of people who have very different... Why is this... Very different thoughts on how to handle everything. Why is this not working, though? Can I just, like... What? Wait, I need to figure out what's going on with this. Wait, did I put the lasso tool somewhere else? Yesterday I know it got messed up, but it might have been because my computer restarted. I just thought I already used it today. Oh my gosh. Where'd my lasso tool go? Where is it? Where's my lasso? Can I, like, figure it out? Where did it go? It should be a default thing. How do you find it? Bro. Let me see this. What? Why does it look so weird? Bro. Hang on, I don't remember what I was saying now because I need to fix this issue. This is a really big one, and I know something weird happened yesterday where I accidentally dragged it into a different, section, but usually it says lasso tool. Where the heck is lasso? Bro, where did it go? Oh my gosh, this might be one of the worst things I've done. I cannot find it anywhere. Okay, time to look it up. What happens when you lose your lasso tool? On Clip Studio Paint. Restore by using the add from the default function. Where the heck is that? Add from default function? Where the heck is that? Open menu, go to tool or subtool. Okay, so where is it? Because I think it's still registering as I have it already. But it got lost somewhere and I need to find it. What does it mean add from default? I don't see anything. Oh. Oh, I see, nice. I see liquefy. Is it selection area? Correct line. I don't see lasso. What is it called? That's not right. Lasso 2. Where's lasso 1? Okay, well I found... Okay, where the heck is it? Wait, that means I already have this somewhere. There it is. Aha. How dare you? How dare you leave? Yeah. I think that worked. Dare you leave? I thought they were supposed to be in the same one. Hello? Bro. Okay, well, I think we found it, so that's perfect. Hopefully this works now. Thank goodness. That was really annoying. Little detour. Okay, I don't remember what we were saying now, but I think the general gist of what I was trying to say was I think there's a lot of room to be different from other people. Even if it's in just like minor things. Like not having weird fan service stuff. I think that can be something that just sets you apart as well. While there is probably still going to be people that you cannot obviously control, I think that I myself just don't really sit well with it. And people might say that I'm kind of crazy for joining the VTubing sphere if I don't like that stuff. But I feel like it shouldn't be the norm to be like that. It shouldn't be. If people don't want to be that way, they shouldn't have to be. I know it sells well for a lot of people, but for me, I just see that as very weird. Oh yeah, and that's not to say that other people can't do it either. That's just because I just don't like it for myself. I think it's kind of important for people to be able to market their characters too, for as a job and stuff. But that's not really my focus with all this. I just really want to have fun, make connections, and be able to kind of live out my dreams, which are just being able to be an artist and singer, pretty much. I haven't been able to make the singing change yet. That will be a pretty big one for me. I know I messed up the hair, guys. I don't know how to fix that one. I think the fix might be not showing this part at all. Like that. Also, I would already do singing stuff, but I'm not sure what the laws are on the songs and stuff. I'd be too worried to mess anything up. I just don't want to sing songs I'm not allowed to sing. Without, like, some notice or whatever. And it'd be one thing if they were, like, English songs, but they're not. So that's the hard part for me, is I know they're not English songs, and I really don't know the rules on them at all. I'd like to do more research on it before I do things. Okay, that's kind of nice. I think I can sit with that more. Wait. Oh, that's the one I didn't like. How do I turn that off? Yeah, I think I've said this before on stream too, but I actually do sometimes sing when I am streaming. I just mute my mic because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to sing the songs. It's usually just me humming, but sometimes I do actually sing them. Also, I'm not sure if it'd be weird to other people, just because, like, I typically sing Japanese songs. Not that I'm any good at it, but I do try. I think I like this a lot better. I just want something that looks, like, fluffy, but also, I don't know, nice to look at. I feel like when I watch VTubers, um, my eyes are always on their hair or the character's eyes, depending on what moves more. I think there's a lot of psychology that goes into it. Like trying to find things that people find just calming to look at or just nice to look at. I need something to make up for other parts that my character will not have. I think that's very important. I need to compensate. Which is kind of difficult because I picture Alfie in a specific way, but I have to change her design a little bit. I mostly mean like the hair and the outfit because I'm not sure. I don't know if this is a nice hairstyle or not. I feel like it doesn't match the hairstyle I have already going on. Make a new one. How should we do the pigtails? I think doing just one is kind of not something I want. But also, I don't want it to be distracting because we already have the side things here, like I was saying. So to have two pigtails might be distracting. I don't want to make them too big. I want to make them somewhat like where you can see like the individual strands. I think that'd be nice. But not to an extreme degree. Because I still want it to look like one solid piece of hair, you know? Kind of like what we did with the bangs in the front. I want to make it look natural too. His hair doesn't always flow in the same direction. I don't want it to be too long. I think being too long will get in the way of everything else. See, hair is one of my favorite things to draw, but it's also kind of really hard to draw. Depending on how you draw it, I guess, but it's kind of like ribbons. I picture them like ribbons. I remember when I was trying to help one of my friends with art stuff, and I offered to teach a little bit about how I draw hair and stuff, and ribbons. And I was using them as kind of the same example, because they're just so similar. But I guess it's also kind of a style, because not everyone's going to draw hair the same way, right? Also don't mind me if I talk too much today, because I've kind of had some coffee. I'm just surprised that my art isn't getting messed up right now, because usually it causes shaky hand stuff. And while it did cause that, I seem to be doing fine. I don't think my pen is messing up, which is really good. I, however, am messing up. I feel a little bit dizzy from it, but I don't know if that's normal. Always had that reaction to coffee, though. Come on. Just want to make it flow a little bit. Should I only do one ponytail to the side? That might be nice for avoiding putting too much on one side. I like the way that one turned out. This could actually be a good opportunity right here. Yeah, I don't know if you guys like or are even interested in my random VTubing ramblings. But it's one of the it's actually one of the things I realized quite a while ago, that it's probably the one kind of like career path that I've actually studied so much of. Because it is technically a career path for many. And kind of is in general, even if you're just doing it for fun. It requires a lot of attention to detail. I think it kind of is like a job in and of itself, even if it's just a hobby. The difference is it's just a lot more fun for people who think of it as a hobby, I think. That's not to say that people who do this as a job is not fun, though, because I know there's a lot of fun for people that do this as a job. I think the biggest and most important thing, though, is like the interaction with your fan base. I think that plays a heavy role. So being able to have like merch for people, or just having the time of day to be able to give to some people if you can. I know it gets really hard, though, once you have like a large audience to respond to anyone or interact. It gets really hard. Even if you look at non-VTubers, like just normal streamers, even Queso, he gets like so many chatters like at the same time. I don't think like it'd be very easy for him to see what anyone's saying. Like, it's actually kind of crazy. I don't think I've seen so many people typing at once before. Oh, yeah, I kind of like that, actually. I don't like that one. I'm gonna delete that one. Let's move everything back up. I do kind of like that. I might want to change this back stuff again, though. I think the biggest thing, too, with, like, marketing your character and everything, especially with the hair stuff, is, like, keeping the strands still, like, you can still tell which strand is which, so that's why I try to limit it to 4 strands for this one. And again, 4 strands here, 4 strands here. The bangs are another story. I might have to rework those. Let me show one of my friends real quick, see what they think. I've actually been asking opinions about this design in specific lately, because like, while I'm really happy with it, I want to know what my friends think. And I'm already streaming it anyways. Okay, I think I like the side ponytail. I'm just not sure about the back hair now. This part. I think it's probably because some of it kind of conflicts. Because if you put your hair up into a ponytail, some of your hair gets like bunched up, and otherwise it would look like she just has like way too much hair. It wouldn't look very realistic. So I might take that layer down. Usually I'm so afraid to do that because of being worried of like messing things up, but keeping them on different layers definitely helps me. I want to have like some short middle stuff though. And then this will be the back. Okay. Okay guys, I'm gonna try something like really, not outlandish, but like really different for a second. And it's probably gonna look like absolute garbage. But bear with me, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try something. Just, I need to try something completely different from what I've been doing the entire time. Okay, I feel like this kind of reminds me of, what was it, Buttercup from Powerpuff Girls. I'm not gonna do that. The colors are completely different anyways, but this hairstyle slightly reminded me of that. Just this part that we have here. I hope no one draws that. It's actually not bad though. It's not bad, but it kind of takes away from the other pieces we had, and I feel like it's just a completely different style than what we have going on. Otherwise, if I didn't have this kind of style going on, I would have done her usual hair, which kind of looks more like this. It's just all the hair pieces are kind of less defined, and I think it's harder to market that kind of thing. It's kind of more like this is her usual hairstyle. And then she has like kind of like the Final Fantasy Alfina hair, but a little bit different, I guess, because I draw it completely different. Well, almost completely different, because I feel like you could still probably recognize it if you played Final Fantasy 14. This is her usual kind of hairstyle, but it's just not really vibing with me right now. Because if I were to do a VTube model, I don't want to have the same hair as I have in Final Fantasy 14. Because the Alfie I know is not the Final Fantasy 14 one. The Alfie I know is the one that I've been writing in my novel for who knows how long now. I think that's one of the biggest things for me, is just keeping that in mind. I'm gonna move this other layer because I don't like this one. I could have just deleted it to save space, and I probably will later, but for now, just start a new one. I'm trying to think, do we want some of the roots showing? Kind of like this, maybe? We could also offset the roots. Or the part, I mean. I could give her more of a, I guess, a boyish hairstyle. Kind of curly on the sides. That actually might work. And I guess it's not really boyish, it's just more short, which is not what I would usually picture for Alfie. I have other characters that are kind of like this, but I didn't think about it before. Maybe it would be nice. Maybe. I actually might think of that. I just think it'd be really hard to think of, like... I'm not sure. So the part that would be hard is, like, doing all the proper, like, curls and stuff. Like, am I thinking of a perm? What's funny is this actually does kind of fit the theme we're going for now. It's more curly, it's short, and it also makes enough room for the ponytail back there. I just think it'd be really hard with, like, the rendering process, if that makes sense. Actually, this kind of looks nice. I kind of dig it. Never did I think I'd go with just a short hairstyle for her. But it matches because, naturally all the other parts of her hair would be pretty short with the ponytail, and I'd have to move this kind of more forward, I guess, because of the ponytail. I feel like if I wanted to do this realistically, like I was trying to say earlier, the ponytail will take up the entire back half of her head with the hair. That's kind of how they work. So I'd probably have to move it more back like this. Okay, I was gonna take the other part, but I'm just gonna do this one now. Kind of stinks that the other part is taken. Okay, I'm gonna move this up just because I need it to be shorter now. I had to fix that part too. See, the reason I separated this part right here is so that she has like a spot underneath, like towards the back, I guess. In fact, I can separate that right now. Man, I'm just so happy to have my lasso tool back. That was like literally such a scare earlier. I'm gonna try to group this under the ponytail side, or is it even further side? No, I should have separated the layer first. I like where it is right now, so now I don't want to move it. Okay, we're gonna call this back 1, I guess, and then back 2. Actually, I'll call it ponytail. That sounds more normal. And then we have back 1, which I'll draw the rest out here now. And then we'll have this as... Wait, that should be back 2. Back 2. This is back 1. Front. I'll just call them bangs. That's pretty easy to understand. I'll call this front I'll call this middle then. And then I'll call the other one back. There. More understandable now. Man, this is already gonna be a lot of work, I can tell. Especially if I'm gonna end up having to separate these all. Just so many different layers. Okay, so I should try to turn up everything else now, just to see what it looks like again. Okay, so that doesn't draw too much away. I think that will actually be in our favor now. But I'm gonna hide some of the other stuff again. I make this one really thin. This one even thinner. This one somewhat thin, but I still need to see that one. Because now I'm gonna be drawing on the back part. So I'm gonna need to see that pretty well. Just checking real quick. Okay, I'm gonna need to draw this part, which shouldn't be too hard. It's just outlining the head, pretty much. This might be interesting. I'm trying to figure out, because I might have to do, like, the effect of the hair being grouped into the ponytail. And I don't have to think about that too much right now, but I would like to, just because I don't want to have a concept that I like and then realize I'm not going to like how it looks in the end. I think that it would be kind of natural to have some of that, like, those lines here. Because the hair has to be grouped somehow, right? And in this case, I don't think you'd see much of this side of the hair on the other side of the head right now. So I'd probably look like that. Let me turn all the other ones back on again. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, I just want to make sure that it doesn't look like there's too much going on. So if I can do that, while still making it look okay, then that's going to be my goal. I'm going to turn this one off pretty much because now I need to do the middle part again. Just to ensure that it looks alright. I might actually hide this one. Or rather, hang on. Let me like copy this layer, paste it down, and then I'll hide the original. And then I'll edit this one and see which one I like better. I just want to take into account like the way it's going to look from the back as well. I think pulling this forward is probably one of the best things we could do for this hairstyle. I mean the middle part, pulling it forward is probably a pretty good idea. You know, I could still do that, that little fluffy part that used to be on her hair because of the Final Fantasy style. can still kind of do that right here with the perm kind of hair. I'm just like really trying to think, how hard will this be when rendering? Might be pretty difficult. I'm gonna have to see how this works. I just don't want too much traffic going on in the art. I don't want too much, like, eye traffic. I think right here, there should be, like, disconnect from the bangs to where this part of the hair starts. I might do something like that. I think I need to keep the bangs separate. So I'll probably do something more something that curves more right here, but also still expressing as part of this part of the hair. I think the main issue here is I actually want to have something that kind of goes around the ear or kind of shows it off a little bit. Because this stuff back here is towards the back. This stuff goes over that though, so I guess perhaps it's a pointless goal. That might be better, I guess. Okay. I'm gonna add this real quick as well. Okay, I just realized something very important too. Is this one... Wait, that's not the right one. Middle copy. Right here. Hello, Rio. I hope you are well today. So what are we thinking, chat? Are we thinking this one or this one? Wait, they look... Wait. Okay, that's what it was. This one or this one. Thank you, how are you? That's good. I am doing alright, thank you for asking. I'm trying to figure out between these two. I think I like this one better. I like the modified one. Let me turn the ponytail off for a second. We're going between the middle hairs. I think this one has more depth to it. This is gonna be a lot to rig, actually, I'm realizing, but, and I'm gonna have to draw this on a front view angle, so I'm gonna... See, because I'm drawing it the way I want it to look kind of from the front, but that's already my mistake. We need to make sure it can be viewed from the side. I need to account for how much would be showing from this angle. I even think I can use this like concept art here as a base for when she's turned this way. Okay, that's slightly better. I feel like it doesn't look as 3D, so I might have to work some of these things out. Maybe this part. I think keeping some of the layers more in front, like this one here, I think that adds some layer of depth. But this one just looks like it's so far out, like more in front of these ones. It almost looks even more in front than this one. I think that might throw it off a little bit. But again, we don't want too much like visual confusion going on with this. I'm gonna delete this middle one. I didn't like it very much. I'd also like to see this real quick. Okay, that's a no from me. That's my original one. I'm fine with keeping that. Original meaning her actual hair from Final Fantasy. I think I like this so far. So I'm gonna turn everything back up now. And a little bit of a thing you guys probably didn't know was after I had ended stream the other day, my other art stream, I kind of didn't really like how the art had came out, but when I looked back at my VOD, it wasn't until I had seen just this part, I think this was like the picture of the VOD or something that I wanted to choose for me. I was like, I'm like, you know what? I think the front of the hair had some potential. So I would have kind of given up on the whole concept I had going on here on that one stream if it weren't for that VOD being shown on my page. And I just think it's kind of cool because that's the reason why I'm continuing it. Is because just seeing that part right there, just this part, gave me enough motivation to try to continue and rework what I didn't like about it. So it's because of that that I am working on this again today. Kind of kind of weird to have to explain that, but I don't know if that happens to everyone, but it certainly happened to me where I just kind of lost motivation and when it didn't look right to me. And then I suddenly gained motivation again, randomly. And it just shows that there are some parts of your art that you just don't like, right? But it doesn't mean we should just give up on it. It just means we need to rework it more. That's what I mean to say with that. Like this part right here, I could probably just move this hair just a little bit down. More head level. There we go. That's nice. Oh, not that. Okay, I think I've decided on a hairstyle, but now I need to go back and rework the outfit again because I realized it's kind of missing my favorite parts, my favorite aspects about it, which were, one of them was the wings, but if I were to rework that outfit, I wouldn't get the same results as what I'm trying to go for. I'm trying to go for, like the other one was more like, it had more wing stuff about it. Like it had actual wings on the skirt. and I really liked that part, so I'm probably going to rework the outfit a little bit. Also, I feel like one thing I probably haven't mentioned is with these art streams, one of the things I hope to do is hope to be able to encourage other fellow artists and even people who don't know the art process for a lot of people, for artists to help kind of encourage, like, hey, there'll be a lot of times that we're not sure about our work, but just keep going at it, and eventually something will turn out the way you're trying to get it to look. Even if that takes years, honestly. Sometimes it does. And in regards to non-artists, to show kind of the process and what it really takes. Because I've been working on a VTube concept for Alfina for a long time. Because though she's been one of my story characters in my novel for a really long time now, I never had like an outfit for her like to think of when like streaming. And I guess when I pictured her, there was never a concrete image of her in my mind. Except for her face and her eyes. Kind of like the proportions you're seeing right now. This is probably very close to how I picture her most accurately. It's more so the hair and outfits that are never solid when I think of her. And that was one of the hardest things to work out, even in my story, because you kind of want your characters to have a concrete look, right? Unless you're Killua from Hunter x Hunter, who changes outfits like every episode. Which is also really cool. But for me, like, I kind of just wanted a solid outfit for VTubing, and I probably will go back and add more later. I kind of want I think I've said this before, but I kind of want a solid model that I'm happy with, that I wouldn't be cringing at when I look at myself. So that, like, I know people probably like to look at it too. That's my main goal. I need to work on the outfit now. I think it's looking okay so far. Hello, Spooky Nebby. I hope you are well today. You came in just in time. We, just got some progress down. I think I'm set on this hairstyle now. It has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts to it, which is going to be kind of insane to rig, depending on how I separate everything. But I think it'll be worth it. I'm trying to think realistically how this hairstyle would work, so I added like a layer in the back for being grouped up for the ponytail, because like when you put your hair up, it's never just like, it never looks perfect. It has like all those lines leading up to it, like, you know what I mean? All your hair strands. Oh, like layers? Yeah. So I have the, let's just show you here. We have, okay, this is the face. These are the eyes. I'm glad I kept those separate. We have the front little tassel parts here. I'm sorry, I don't remember what those are called. And then we have the bangs in the front. Probably have 3 separate layers for those, with the side stuff, and then these things, and then, yeah. And then we have the middle part here. Kind of like a perm kind of hair is what I'm thinking. But I'm trying to think, how would I render it to make it look like fluffy and short? And then we're gonna have the back part here, which is kind of just grouped up. It has a little bit of like a cowlick in the back or something. So, something like that. And then we have the ponytail. So that's 5 different layers right there. Yeah, so I just need to redesign her outfit again, because I know I've already made it, but something about it just doesn't feel like Alfie to me. Oh, interesting. Hope it's fun. Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun, actually. It's probably the most fun I've had with art in quite a while, which is really good. I think sometimes one of the sad things about art is sometimes your love for art can start dying, especially if you're drawing stuff you don't want to draw. So for me, usually I have much more motivation to draw stuff for other people. But this is the first time I actually felt happy just drawing something for myself. So that's a really rare thing for me. Usually I get more joy from just drawing things for other people. So this is a first. I think it's because it's actually coming out the way I picture it. And when I draw things for my friends, I kind of like, I tried my best to make it the way that I hope they picture it, but I don't know at the end of the day how they're wanting it to come out. It's kind of hard. Oh, what do you want her to look like in your head, at least? That's the hard part. I was just saying this, but I'm kind of back and forth because the only thing that is concrete about her design is usually her just having green hair, red eyes, and this face shape, an eye shape, mouth, and nose shape. But the hair and the outfits is what has never been concrete in my mind. And I actually realized there is something psychological to that because it pointed out to me kind of like the first things I notice, even in people, is their eyes and their hair. The two of the most defining features for me. And that's probably why I don't usually focus too much on clothes. I find it more fun to just draw headshots, I guess. Yeah, it seems nice to draw for others but yourself as well. Yeah. I think there's a nice balance to it. Drawing for others has insanely, like, increased my capabilities, I think. And every single... It's been... Was it 2021? It was either 2021 or 2022 when I got into Clip Studio Paint. I know my dad had been wanting me to draw art for a really long time on the digital softwares, which was Manga Studio at the time, I believe, which is now Clip Studio Paint. And I never really wanted to get into it as a kid. I was more interested in doing traditional art. So now it's been, I think, 4 years of drawing digitally on and off. It's not been every day. So I probably could have improved quicker if I had, like, done more. Because consistency is key here in progress. But when I finally did get to do digital art, and I found VTubing in 2021, so yeah, this is 2021 then, it became my goal that any piece of art I did, to keep me uplifted, even when things didn't turn out the way I liked them, every single piece of art I did, I would say that, oh, it was just practice, further practice, for when I make my VTube model. That's what I would say every time I did a project. No matter how it looked, it was, okay, that was just more practice for my VTube model. I think that's also kind of why it was hard for me at first to get into drawing more things for my friends, because I want to look the best I can get it, but I knew that I didn't think of my art very highly. So it was really hard. Like, it was really hard. I don't know if I should keep these sleeves like this, but I could even do, like, more puffy sleeves. Clothes can get a little too distracting and maybe people put too much focus on that. Yeah, it can happen. What do you mean by traditional art? Oh, so like, just drawing with pencil and paper. I used to do that a lot more, and I didn't want to get into digital art, which is, well, as you could see me drawing right now. So it took me a really long time before I got into it. And I wish I had listened to my dad sooner, because traditional art is really nice. And I think it really helped me in my transition to it, of course. But I just really like being able to, like, okay, it's not ruined. Control Z. The problem is when you go back to traditional art to draw on paper with a pencil, and then you're trying to zoom in, and you're like, wait, I can't zoom in. That's when it becomes kind of funny. trying to decide how to have this though. I want it to be distracting. Because if you think about it, however much you're going to see is all the head, the neck, and the shoulders. It's pretty much all you're going to see of a VTube model for most streams, I feel like. So it's kind of hard to decide what to draw because you're not really going to see the full body model. But I think for the case of fan art, you're going to want to have a full model. I think if anyone's just starting off though, and they kind of want to get a model, I highly recommend just starting with a half body model. If they don't know if they like VTubing yet or just streaming in general, because then you didn't waste as much money. But yeah, I just need to think of like, this is the general amount you usually see in a VTuber on screen. I'll keep this diagram, in fact, because it's pretty important. I think it'll be a good thing for me to see, because I need to think of the features up here. And I also want to think of the silhouette, because you want your silhouette, like when you black out your character, to be recognizable from other VTubers. And I think eventually, like I was trying to say earlier, that will be kind of harder. Because over time, there's going to be so many different characters that look similar to your own, or similar to your own silhouette. That said, the silhouette is a nice way to gauge, but also when you take off the silhouette layer, I think that it's very important to know that even if someone has a very similar silhouette, or almost exactly the same, all the details inside the model could be completely different. Different colors, different hair, like, I think it's kind of crazy, actually. There's like so much to this. It's one of the few things that's actually caught my attention for a long time. Besides like learning languages and stuff. Yeah, that too, yeah. So that's one of the main downsides of doing traditional art is just having to buy paper and pens. I have... this is probably not even... I don't know how accurate it is, but I probably have like 20 sketch pads that are somewhat filled, some are filled, and then probably some that even aren't filled. See, with this kind of design, I think it would be kind of repeating the same, what's it called? The same shape as most VTubers, as people say. But I don't think there's anything wrong with the shape, even if it's overused. I just think that it is another part of the silhouette thing. And this would cause the same kind of silhouette. I do want to try to think of something else, but it's kind of hard. But I'm kind of just trying to prioritize what I like, rather than what's popular. Because I think that if you focus too much on what's popular, you will probably lose sight of the reason why you wanted to get into the field. And for me, like I was saying, it's more so for just kind of chasing my dreams, singing, art, and stuff. Also getting to interact with people and have connections. I think that's nice. That's the most important thing to me. And I think as long as you hold on to your hope and kind of your reason behind it, then you won't lose sight of that. But focusing on numbers and stuff is where things get harder. Because some people want to make it into a job, and you kind of need numbers for that. And I think that's kind of when people start to lose joy in what they do. I think it's kind of just like a downward spiral from there. Point being, do not lose sight in your dreams. I feel like they're kind of a core thing. See here? I'm kind of stinking at this right now, if you guys can tell. I'm trying to just draw a general pose. I'm trying to think about how this would look. I'm trying to think. Kind of depends, but I think I really need to work on drawing feet. That's really hard. But I think it would help me improve a lot of my proportions for some of my drawings. Because technically I could do this, but it doesn't really look the best. You guys know what I mean? I want to be able to, like, see the shoes. I think one of the solutions is moving her leg more down. That's kind of more accurate. She is a lot more thin though, so I'm gonna have to, like, size everything down. She's probably one of the most frail of all my characters, I'm not gonna lie. I just feel like I stink at that position. I need to figure out how to do the foot. Alfie in story? Yeah. In my story, she's literally the most frail person in the entire story. I don't want to turn it sideways. I want to have it straight on, pretty much. This is really hard. I think I need to picture, like, the ankle kind of, like, right below this, and then foot being down. Yeah, kind of like that. I think kind of like that. Interesting. Yeah, right? I need to draw her outfit, obviously. I want to do, like, a cinched kind of seam here, if I can. Not making it look repetitive. I'm still thinking about what to do about the bow, because I liked the bow. I also want to do a very flowy skirt. But I don't want it to be too, big. If that makes sense. I kind of want her shorts design to be shown. So I might even include the feather outfit, the feather design. I need to further develop it though. Let's see here. Remove this part. A little bit cluttery. Going to remove this part now. See, again, this is another fun part about digital art, is like being able to layer stuff. It's one of the things you can't really do as well with traditional art, I feel like. Like, you can't just say, okay, I'm going to remove something from this layer, when in actuality, you layered something over that layer in your traditional art. What do you hate the most about drawing? I'm not gonna lie, I think it's probably having to draw the other eye every time. This was a miracle, I'm not gonna lie. The eyes there, that was a miracle. I'm not sure if there's anything I really, like, hate about it. It'd be more so like, either losing your progress, when you accidentally erase something and you can't get it back. So like traditional art, for instance. Or if you really liked the way something went and then you ended up deleting the layer and you didn't think about it. Because sometimes looking back at things, after not seeing them for a while, you think, oh, actually, that was a good idea. Like what happened with this one. I was saying it just a little bit ago on this stream, actually. But if it weren't for seeing my VOD on Twitch, like just the thumbnail, I wouldn't have come back to try to rework the hair on this model. I would have just given up with this specific design. But it wasn't until I saw... Where was it? Just this. Pretty much just this whole thing right here. If I hadn't come back and seen that, I was like, you know, maybe there is potential for this, this new hairstyle. Because for those of you who don't know, Alfina is one of the characters that I have in the novel I'm writing currently, and her hair has never been very concrete, and I'm trying to kind of make a concrete hairstyle, at least for VTubing. And this is pretty much what I came up with. So it was just really, really hard for me to come up with something, I guess. And I was literally going to just start a new design the next time I did stream, but because of that thumbnail, I decided maybe that one does have potential. So yeah, sometimes just taking some time away from your own art and coming back to it, you'll realize like, hey, actually, maybe that was a good idea. I think that's sometimes what it takes. Also, don't mind the fact that she's like hyperextending her leg. Let me fix that. She's probably still hyperextending a little bit. Made her legs like way too chunky. Because usually they're way thinner. I should probably bring the whole thing here. Now it doesn't match the proportions. I just need to change the whole size. Hopefully not ruin everything. It probably will for a second, but I can just fix it. I'm gonna make it natural still, so I'm not gonna turn that. Oh, actually, it kind of did fit her proportions. for how big everything else is, so I'm not gonna change that. I could probably take a look at it at some other point, but I'll just leave that there for now. I have to think of what kind of shoes she's wearing though, because I think that's probably one of the most undecided factors of my model so far. I really don't know why, but it's just that part. It's just the shoes that throw me off the most. That and I guess the ribbon. Because I wanted to do a ribbon back here, but no one's ever going to see that. Like, no one is ever going to see that. Kind of like how when people have tails on their models, they have to have it all the way to the side for you to even see it. Or they have to have it, like, move around kind of thing. I think with that, it's kind of the same thing with my bow situation, is I can't really have a bow because no one's going to see it. But I think with a ribbon, if I had like kind of untied, but still tied in the back, I guess, and then I could have something kind of like this. I think it'd still be kind of interesting, but it might be distracting. I'm unsure about it still. Something like ribbons. I just wouldn't want it to be too distracting, like I was trying to say. I think it kind of would be. I wish I had the motivation to draw like you do. Well, actually, that's the hardest part is, it's not something I hate per se, but it's something that, like, some days it's really hard to find the motivation. And I guess only recently I've really gained that motivation back, to kind of want to do this stuff again. It's kind of like it feels like I'm in the home stretch to achieving, one of the biggest milestones so far, which is setting my VTube model. And I've been really excited to do it for a long time. But like I was saying, I kind of put it off for a long time because I just wanted to continue to better my skills as an artist beforehand, so that I wouldn't have any regrets about the model. That's why I keep saying, like, I really want it to look nice, at least even in my eyes, because if it doesn't look nice in my eyes, I'm not gonna like it. It's something that I'm gonna have to rewatch my own VODs to, like, edit and stuff. And it's something I'm gonna have to see a long time, and something all the viewers are gonna have to see. So to me, it's really important that it looks eye-catching or just interesting, at least. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but I have to be able to tolerate looking at it. It's, one of the biggest, confusing questions I've probably asked a lot of my friends now is, but I'm worried it won't match my voice. And all my friends go, are you insane? I kid you not. All my friends are like, are you insane? Like, what do you mean not match your... Wait, what? They're like, what do you mean? When I picture Alfie, it is you. I'm like, yeah, but that's the hard part, because I picture my character from my novel, which has a different voice than I have. And while I feel like I probably could voice act it, she has a different voice than me. So, my friends are always like, what are you talking about? Like, you are Alfie. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, okay, but this is the hard part as the author. Because I don't know how common it is actually for people to kind of write a story or be in the middle of writing a story, but also use that as the character they play on stream. I'm not sure how common that is. Actually, I want to find more people like that. That'd be pretty cool. But it definitely confuses a lot of my friends when I ask them that question. Like, but what if it doesn't match my voice? What do you mean? Yeah, I guess I don't have really any goals. Like, I draw just to draw. Oh, yeah. See, that does make sense. That's kind of what I did as a kid. But even then, I always looked up to my dad who drew, because I used to see, like, okay, so he's picturing something in his mind and he's putting it on paper. I'm like as a kid, like a really young kid, I was like, this just blew my mind. I'm like, this is amazing. So, even as a kid, I can still remember, probably even like when I was 5, I was just thinking, like, in my head, I was like, man, I can't draw anything that I'm imagining, but I'm just gonna keep drawing anyways. As I sit there scribbling on random books and stuff. I just think it's really funny. That's typically how it starts, I guess, because it definitely helps when you have an inspiration, or in my case, my dad, who was my inspiration as a kid. And even now still, I just feel a little bit sad he doesn't do art very much anymore. But like, it was like a really big starter inspiration for me, so I get what you mean, like, especially if you didn't grow up with anyone that was like really invested in their art and stuff. I feel like who you surround yourself with and kind of who you're around does kind of impact your interests a little bit, especially when you're younger. So that makes sense. It's only natural. Even then, like, I can still help with art tips or whatever if you need. I think it kind of just helps when you have a friend or a family member or just someone you look up to that does art, which can help kind of motivate, if you know what I mean. Because I think too, some people in their families, I think some family members will be like, what is that trash you're drawing? And I think that having that kind of reaction to someone's drawing, especially as a kid, kind of puts you down. And that is not the proper response. Even if you think that it doesn't really look like what they're trying to draw, just encourage. Because I think that being encouraged is kind of everything with motivation. I guess unless you're kind of more self-confident, because I know a lot of people are, no matter what people say. But I think, like, again, it might depend a little bit on, like, personality, I guess. But for me, I was one of the types that if someone said, kind of like they don't like what I was drawing or something, then it would put me down. Like it does every once in a while. Less so now, because if I'm happy with it, then I'm happy with it. But it does still kind of affect, like when you hear that, it's kind of like, okay, well, why'd you have to make that comment? Like, what? Why? I just think it's kind of unnecessary, you know? But that would be more so like random family members that are not as close, like the non-immediate ones. It was more so like, I guess if you had like random bully friends, don't even mind me calling bully friends. Also, I don't know why, the thing tagged that word for you. Yes, sometimes people are jerks. It can be hard to deal with sometimes, but you get through it, I think. It comes from a place of, like, yeah, self-confidence, I guess. Not pride, but, like, just self-confidence. Like, knowing that your worth isn't determined by other people. I think that's really important. And I think at the end of the day, for me, if I enjoy art, then that's enough for me. Even if it doesn't look very good. I think that's probably how I should have viewed singing too, but I remember I used to sing a lot as a kid, and whatever happened, I have no idea. Um, I have no idea how this happened, but at one point I just stopped singing entirely in front of anyone. And I don't know how that happened. But due to that, it was only until I think last year, or probably early this year actually, that I just got back into being able to sing in front of people again. So I'm one step closer to one of my dreams now. Because even as a kid, since I grew up with like Hatsune Miku stuff growing, um, I really liked watching those concerts, and it made me want to sing as a kid. Again, like the influence as a kid. I got to watch anime and stuff as a kid because my parents were cool. And I got to see kind of like the rise of Vocaloid. So I think that was one of the things that definitely influenced me in some way. Like, I mean, even if you see like previous Alfie forms, some of them kind of remind me of Hatsune Miku, I guess. But funny enough, Hatsune Miku was not my favorite Vocaloid. Also, I don't think jerk is a bad word. What? What do you mean? Don't you know this? Hatsune Miku's not my favorite. Who was? Maybe you could take a guess. I'm sure you'll get it. Also, I want this outfit to be like cosplayable. Teto? No, that one came a lot later. At least I think. My favorite was Kagamine Len. I am pretty sure as a kid I think I had a crush on Len. Everyone just forget you heard that. Wow. Shush. Shush. You heard nothing. You heard nothing. You heard... Nothing happened. Childhood things, am I right? Oh my gosh. Man, that's a memory right there. I'm trying to picture where her elbows would be. They'd probably be down here. But yeah, I think that Vocaloid kind of had an impact on me as well as a kid. Um, like, also, I never watched Soul Eater as a kid, but, I think when my parents would watch it, they had, like the ending, I think it was ending 2, possibly. Uh, I always loved, Maka's, like, clothing choice. So as a kid, I may or may not have, uh, been very weird like that, where I have, like, mixed matching socks and stuff, and I just overall really liked her character style, so that kind of plays into VTubing, I think, for me. That's another reason why I think that VTubing is just really, like, I say quote unquote, beautiful, because people can still express themselves in a way that I feel like you can't normally from just streaming, showing your face. Because you get to present yourself as pretty much however your wildest imagination is, I guess. I think that is one of the most freeing feelings, and I think really valuable. That's one of the main things I admire about it. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about these arm pieces though. I might redo the whole top. I'm just really unsure about how to do this now, because I should have drawn the body underneath first so I can actually do a different outfit. Like, this is kind of going to be problematic in a second. Let me just take the time to, like, fix this, I guess. I just want to separate these parts onto a new layer, even though it might drag some of the other parts of the outfit with it. Willing to make that chance right there. Yeah, it's pretty anonymous for the most part, but people like to take it too far. Yeah, both on the VTuber and fan side. Yeah, it can be taken too far. Pretty common actually. But I think self-expression is kind of nice. I think that's the best part. Let's just say I am not a fan of drama, so even on Twitter, I have had a complete what do you call it, like curating Like, I recurated my entire timeline because I'm so sick of seeing VTuber drama. I have not taken a look at Twitter in a long time, but only recently, I have been opening it. And I just get this flood of VTube drama after VTube drama and VTube drama and more. And I'm like, when does it stop? So, I may or may not have readjusted like all my interest stuff in like the settings because I found it. And then had to unselect a bunch of stuff it was showing. Like, what the frick? Like even M&Ms was a category. I'm like, when did I say what? I'm like, why would that be a category I would follow on Twitter? This just doesn't make any sense. Oreos was one of the categories. Wheat Thins was one of the categories. I'm like, okay, who, what? Why? So I had to uncheck all these things. Yeah, M&Ms. I have no idea, okay? Food brands. Why is that something I would want on my timeline? It doesn't even make sense. Like, I don't need to hear, like, okay, M&Ms just changed their like, what is it? Their ingredients, maybe? I don't know. Like, what kind of posts would you even see on your timeline regarding M&Ms? Pray tell. No, it's not even that, Nebby. It's like these are things that Twitter occasionally, like, adds to you, like, to your profile over time. And I've had to put some, like, really weird stuff on my timeline before. I'm like, what the heck is this? And I go check my settings, and sure enough, they added a new tab that I never added of interests. And so essentially, though, what I did was I curated my my timeline to be mostly Japanese stuff. So I now have a lot of like cool art techniques that I retweet every once in a while, and I think it's so cool. Like, these are things I would not have seen if I kept my old timeline. So now I feel like it actually kind of helped with this, actually. Because I saw something, like, people drawing, character heads and stuff, and from all different angles. And I guess maybe that was part of the inspiration for wanting to draw that day. I didn't put sus stuff for you. No, not like that. It was just, like, weird things I would never be interested in. Like racing or car stuff. I don't know, man. It's M&Ms, like I was saying, like, huh? Oh, I also want to clarify. I do not know about any type of, M&M, ingredient switch. That was a joke, like, idea. Like, it's like a concept. Like, what kind of tweet would you even see that relates to M&Ms? That part doesn't make sense. That's what I mean by that. I don't think they ever changed their recipe recently. It would be cool if they removed the artificial dyes, though. Yeah, so it's not like anything sus. It's just I'm getting, like, random things that just don't make sense to be on my timeline. That and a lot of VTuber drama, like I was trying to say. And that's, again, not stuff I want to see. I think it just kind of drags you down. Because then you see, like, all the responses and stuff, and it's just... LP's the new secret CEO of M&M's confirmed. No! What? You're not supposed to know that? No, I'm just joking. No, seriously. It's like, it doesn't make any sense, man. I don't know who wants to see Wheat Thins stuff on their timeline. Like, why is that a category? Why Oreos? Why M&Ms? Hello? It does not make any sense at all. I'm not sure why that's a subject, like an interest on Twitter. It doesn't really make sense. Like, I can see, like, I think they had, like, rappers and stuff, which, again, not something I'm interested in, as, an interest. Or random political stuff. I'm like, I don't want to see that. Why? Yeah, it could be, people could be awful with the drama. Yeah. It's like, when I look at Twitter, what I want to see is sometimes, like, VTube, updates and stuff, or new techniques on Clip Studio Paint, art stuff, and clothing design, cosplay. Like, that's the type of stuff I like. I don't like... Real... When I said rappers, I didn't mean, like, wrapping paper. You know what I mean. Like, I am interested in music stuff, though, so that does make sense why it had rappers on there. I guess I'm just not very much of a fan of rapping. Also, I say this while liking Eve songs, but she doesn't like raps either. Oh my gosh. Man, this arm right here is driving me nuts. I think I need to draw like the crease part or something. I also found a new like technique to drawing like silhouettes of people. I really want to try it sometime. I can't remember if it was a Japanese or a Korean technique, but there are two trending on Japanese Twitter. I will head out and do some deep dungeon with other people and have fun, and good luck with the drawing. Alrighty, thank you so much, really appreciate it. It was fun talking. Thank you so much for stopping by, Nebby. Appreciate it. And have fun with the deep dungeon. Good luck. You guys got this. Is FF stable now? It's a good question. I actually want to know, because I'd really like to do some of my PvP. I haven't been able to. Also, I really want to sing so bad right now, but I just don't know if I can. I might do more singing stuff in our Discord. And when I say Discord, I mean our FC Discord, because I still don't have my Alfina Discord set up yet. I'm so sorry, guys. I was working on it, and I realized I had to get all like the sub stuff set up beforehand, because you can't change the rules afterwards. I'm trying to decide like permissions and everything. I have so much on my plate. Still trying to write the novel. Now I'm learning Japanese, if I never said anything about that. Like actually trying to put more effort into it. And then, I'm also streaming every day. Have FC stuff sometimes. Right now it's only Unreal. Let's see here. So yeah, I'm just working on a lot of stuff right now. And I feel like that should be one of my priorities, honestly. So I will set that up here. I will definitely need some help with that. So I think Rio will probably help with that. Oh yeah, and channel points. I gotta set that one up too. Gotta set our channel points up. Because I'm sure you guys want to be able to use those. I don't know if that hand is too big or not, or if it's too weird. I tried, okay, I tried. It's kind of a weird pose, I guess. Because I'm not sure what I'm really doing with the hands. That's the problem. I kind of want to do a closed fist here, though. And I kind of stink at those, so just bear with me here. This looks so bad. Might change the other hand too after this. I feel like it's kind of hard because thumb kind of comes from this angle, right? Which means be more like this, yeah? I kind of suck at that. Oh well, we tried. The main focus is on, oh my gosh, it looks so bad. Main focus is on the outfit. Holy moly, I need to like fix that because I think that's gonna bug me. I might as well have just not drawn the hands. I kind of want to do like a determined look, but I don't think I drew the palms right. Maybe it's because I I need to make more, that's what it is. More together? More close, yeah. Because when you make a fist, your fingers are pretty close together. I might have done the pinky wrong, which will probably offset every other finger. I'll try to fix that real quick. I feel like I could have fixed that a different way, though. Oh, looks so bad. I will get better, I swear. I think that's already significantly better. Might just go with that. Because remember, the concept is not about, the hands. It's about the outfit. So I don't want to spend too much time on the hands. Especially because we've already been streaming for almost 2 hours now. So that's at least more decent than whatever was going on down here, I think. I should have just made that one a fist, too. I think I was gonna have her, like, grabbing, like, the hem of her skirt, but the thing is, her skirt doesn't reach that far down, so. I kind of like the double layer skirt, too. Also, I realized I made her arms, like, the correct length, or thinness, I guess, width. And the legs are not so much. So I'm kind of despairing over that right now. I think I'm gonna grab some of this here. They kind of separate the clothes onto a separate layer so I can actually properly see everything. Eh, it's hard adjusting my hand like this. Oh man, this is gonna be so much harder than I thought. I want to leave the parts, some parts here. Crap, wait. I think this is how I do it. Oh, oh boy, oh boy. This is, very interesting. I'm not used to doing this. Like, separating a whole thing like this in one. That's a lot to separate. Okay, that is, yeah. Okay, well, we did it now. It's gonna get a lot more confusing now. So that's the clothing layer. It's this one. I think it's valid too, because I know I was talking about how I want the model to look decent and stuff. And have, like, the right kind of look to it. I think I can also just, like, go back and edit stuff about it. Like, if I want a different kind of outfit, I think I should be able to do that. I think, I just want a good base model, though. Base model that I'm okay using for whoever knows how long, because I think once I make the character and everything, I'm probably not going to want to use, live 2D cubism for a while. I'm already anticipating I'm probably gonna have an interesting time with that. I'm hoping it won't be frustrating, but it probably will be a little bit. Or at least, at the very least, confusing to some degree. Because it's something I would be new to and just getting into. So I think it will be a little bit kind of like that, maybe. I accidentally selected stuff I shouldn't, so there we go, I'm fixing it. I think I should have only selected the arms, though, because now the hand is a little bit bigger than I wanted it to be. I'm gonna figure out... I feel like some parts of her pose are kind of unnatural, per se, because, like... I want it to look natural still. Okay. I think that's what it is. I have a kind of strange perspective on this. Oh, so I need to keep it that weird way I had the leg. Oh, wait, so yeah, I need to have... That's what it is. Yeah, if the hip is really going up there, then I have to move the other leg further down to account for that. I don't know why. It just wasn't coming to me for a second. But still, it goes to say... It goes without saying, I think is what I'm trying to say. Is this part probably needs to be reversed? Yeah, I think that's somewhat better. Except I need to fix the foot now. Yeah, I think that's better, but I need to fix the foot. That's all. I need to fix the foot. And by fix, I mean reverse this one back, I think. I just need to, actually, wait. All I need to do is change this part here. So I already know it has this kind of like... Trying to picture... Still being... kind of front facing. I want to be front facing. That's the hard part here. More front facing still, but yeah, like this. More like that. It's much better, I think. It's just a general foot design. I think the hard part is kind of leveling it off here. Now my problem is trying to picture this naturally, like in a natural kind of pose. She needs to keep her balance still. When I make more problems for myself, be like, I need to get the general pose down, I think. Let me erase these, or rather, copy them to another layer and hide. I think that will be better. The overall design of this. Okay, this is really gonna be difficult because this part kind of wouldn't change where it is. It still has to be level here. Oops. Oh, see, that's another thing too. I think I need to make more of a space up here. And while I'm gonna need to take this part up here again, I think it's a worthwhile sacrifice. Just trying to make some space down there. I need to be kind of like this. Okay. I think this kind of helps when I kind of envision these parts as like sub pieces. I think it'd be better though if I kind of did her in kind of like a strong pose rather than having a leg up like I was trying to do. Because that will be kind of harder. Gonna need to make her legs a little bit thinner, so this is the perfect time to do that. Thing is, I didn't do it far enough, so now I'm gonna have to redraw this part because I didn't include the knees. Because the knees are pretty far down. They take up more space than the lower leg. Usually. I feel like it's more common than they do. In fact, I could technically... Well, no, I don't want to do that, actually. I was going to lasso tool them, but it would be less effective than just continuing down more. Need to probably be right about here. And this is just the basic kind of design. Like how I said, like I was doing like the outfit now, but I literally have not gotten to do the outfit at all. Even this is a little bit better because it doesn't mix the perspectives. And then really don't like having to draw feet from this angle. It's so hard for me. But that doesn't mean I don't try. Because if you don't try at all, then you're probably not going to improve on your style or proportions. That's actually what I realized too with Japanese. I had always said that I wanted to learn, but I had never actually put in conscious effort towards it. It was only this year that I decided I would start watching like anime without subtitles, which I had shied away from a lot before. Simply because like I just thought I wouldn't be able to enjoy the anime as much. And I still kind of do have an issue with getting to do that, I guess. Because like you actually get to like watch the anime when you have no subtitles. But also you feel like you're missing out on context, so you want to turn them on. But I started working through that. And eventually now I just kind of want to watch anime without subtitles. And then actually it wasn't until I found a Japanese VTuber that I kind of wanted to learn Japanese more consciously. Because I think it'd be cool to understand what they're saying. And I feel like it would probably bridge a pretty cool, like, gap. Like, usually, for me, like, I guess when I learn a language, I don't usually learn enough of it to speak, like, fluently. Like, in Korean, I learned it, quote unquote, but I learned only enough that I can read it. I never really went in depth to know how to say everything, like what everything meaning. Like I can kind of like understand how to speak. It's hard to explain actually. The thing I can't do is I can't like form sentences in the language, which is the most important thing of the language, okay? That's the most important thing. But no, I decided to, when I was gonna learn it years ago now, that I was just gonna learn how to read and write it. So that's kind of all I did. I did learn some words, but I only learned them through K-pop and K-drama. Which again means some of those terms aren't going to be used in daily conversation, similar to anime, and I'm sure J-dramas too. And like music, right? Because a lot of the terms they use can be more like poetic or things that you wouldn't use in your daily conversations or daily life. And I think that is a huge impactor of learning a language, and the fact that I didn't learn those things in Korean is a big oopsie. So if I just wouldn't understand. If someone was talking in Korean, I wouldn't really understand, which is a big downside. It's kind of the whole point, like I was trying to say. So I'm trying to actually learn Japanese. And when I say actually learn, I mean like actually be able to understand it, and write in it and be able to read in it and everything. And that's going to be a really big endeavor because of the 3 different writing systems, which is actually why I wanted to learn Korean in the first place. Was due to that. But then little did I know, like, yeah, it's just, ugh. So for me, I don't know very much Japanese right now, but I know a little bit so that I can recognize some words. And a lot of the language is contextual because, like, it relies on context. And that's going to be the most interesting thing, is completely different terms can be used for completely different things. Also, don't mind me, I'm going to have to switch everything to be a little bit more forward. Because I just realized something. But I'm really excited because, like, I think I might actually commit to this language that I'm learning now. Rather than what I would usually do, which is, like, just kind of die off over time. I think this one would actually benefit me in multiple ways. I realized something. This might not need to be there. Yeah, that was a little bit better. Yeah, so I'm really excited about this one though, because I might actually stick with this language to learn. I do understand a little bit. And technically I know that phrase in Japanese, but I don't want to say it, because it's a little bit embarrassing to try, I guess. But I have to get out of my comfort zone to learn, so. I think that was one of the biggest things too, is I really felt the need to learn this language. To actually communicate and better understand the kind of culture that I'm interested in. I think it also helped me with my singing too, because like I was saying earlier, I like to sing a lot of Japanese songs, and I think it would help me. I think it'd be nice, it'd be fun. Okay, we almost got this part here. I'd like to make this part more flat. There we go, better. I'd like to fix the legs too real quick, because I know I didn't really get to refine those much. I focused on the upper body a lot. Oh yeah, I also want to say that I might actually do like a fan art stream. I'm not sure if that's okay, I guess. So I might wait on that. I'm sure it's fine, right? But yeah, the Japanese VTuber that I found like 3 weeks ago now. I might do thinking I would do a fan art of their VTuber. VTube model. I feel like that's kind of yeah, that's kind of like what kind of, yeah, wait, it is. So, I remember, what was it? It was like, yeah, the 3 weeks ago now when I first found him. I don't know what it was. I think it was their vibe. It was just very upbeat, very friendly. And whatever it was, it just sparked something in me that was like, it reminded me of my original goals and dreams behind VTubing. And I think I kind of just felt like I was like shot out of a cannon. Like I just really wanted to get my stuff done now, like my VTube model. Can't believe I'm just now remembering this. And it happened so recently too. Um, so that was one of my motivations now, come to think of it. There's something about that vibe was just very contagious. In a good way. Oh yeah, and they're actually in the field that I'm kind of wanting to be in, the music, utaite stuff, I believe. And forgive me for my pronunciation. I know it sucks. It's like covers. Uta means song in Japanese, so it's I think something to do with song covers. Um, and sometimes that can specifically refer to Vocaloid, which there are some Vocaloid songs I'd like to cover as well if I can. But again, I don't know the Japanese laws on that stuff, and I'd like to know those things before I do those, or sing at all on my channel. So it's gonna be a learning curve, but I'm really hyped for it, so. Oh, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, so, the Japanese VTuber that I had found, though, they are a singer. They have sung a lot of covers, and I believe not too long ago, possibly like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, maybe, they made one of their original songs. I think they have two, but it's like the other one they use for like the ending streams that they do. And this one was kind of like their first like OG song. Like when you think of someone, it's like the song you'd picture, I feel like. So, that song was really good though. I highly recommend you guys check it out. It's called Aurora by Asaha Nemui. It should pop up. It's really good. They're actually having Japan's having this what is it? The Japanese VTuber Music Awards, I think. And people vote on Twitter, but it has to be in Japanese. So this is what kind of got me to start learning Japanese. Because I remember I was telling my mom, I was like, you know, I really want to support this song. I really want to see it grow in more views and stuff. And I'm like, but I don't know how. And then legit, like just days later, I see them post on the Twitter, and then I see that there's the Japanese VTuber Song Awards, like original song awards. I'm like, what? I'm like, wait, this would be the perfect opportunity. And I kid you not, because of my shyness, I almost shied away from doing it. But as a miracle, a godsend, if you will, I ended up just going for it and trying it, and I do not regret trying. You can vote like every day, like once through DM, once through post. But I think it's very worth it. I really hope you guys go check that song out. It's really good. Funny story, actually. The song had what is it? YouTube's AI stuff has been getting really bad recently, so they went over and they AI dubbed over his song. And I was so mad because I tried to send the song. I heard it completely normal that day. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love this song. I sent it to my friends. And one of my friends was like, I'm sorry, I don't know if I can listen to this. It just sounds so bad. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, there's this like male monologue, just like this male monotone monologue over this. And I just can't listen to it. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, yeah, it's in English. I'm like, what? What are you hearing? So I go back, listen to it again, and sure enough, at some point that day, YouTube put over this this auto YouTube AI dub over his song. I'm like, ew, what did they do to it? Like, bro. And I didn't know at the time, but there was later some like awareness stuff being spread on YouTube about how YouTube was doing this now. And apparently there was a setting to turn it off per viewer, but I'll be honest, I don't think it would have been cool for anyone who didn't know about that coming to see the song and then just leaving, you know? It's not really good for views. So, yeah, I kind of tried to let him know about that, and he did end up fixing it, so that was awesome. And my mom also commented too. It was just painful hearing YouTube do that to a song. It was utterly painful. And I hope YouTube does not do that to anyone else, because I would be devastated. Now I need to figure out if there's some type of setting that I can change. Because if they're auto-dubbing stuff on my channel, like, I can only imagine what other foreigners think of my stuff, right? That'd be insane. Because, like, if it was just, like, I guess, like, a dub, like, captions, it might be okay. But they just did, like, complete voiceover that just, overwrote his singing entirely. They made it, like, what do you call it? Yeah, they like, ruined the quality, the audio quality of his song. And they muffled his voice in the background so you can hardly hear it, his actual voice. And if you wanted to hear that, I guess you could have went to like the YouTube settings on the video specifically. I think it was under like the ... settings or whatever. And then it was like change audio track. But it's so like, that sounds like just such a hassle, right? Especially if it's a song. I don't think anyone's going to want to hear it that way. So, one thing I wasn't going to interact because I felt like it'd be a nuisance, I guess, because I don't know Japanese. So that was my only thing, is I felt like really bad commenting in English because I wasn't sure if they'd understand or the message would even come across. And I didn't want to kind of like, you know, you come into a community of people that speak one language. It's usually custom to not speak there if you don't know the language, right? Especially in like the VTubing community and just streamers in general. I know it's like one of the main rules on the English side, at least, is English only. And it's not usually as a bad thing. It's usually just like for moderation purposes. So I was just really worried. And I wasn't going to comment or interact at all, but again, I wasn't expecting that, but then I ended up commenting about it because it was kind of serious, I guess. I feel like you'd want people to be able to hear your actual singing and not some YouTube thing. But, yeah, that's the story of that. That's kind of when I got the, what I was trying to say, the whole shot out of a cannon, wanting to work on my stuff again. It really, like, re-inspired me. What I get from, like, the song's basis, too, is it kind of feels like a song that... how do I word this? It's like a song of not being sure if you're going to be able to achieve your goals and dreams, and however many times that you felt like you should just give up on them, or I think as he says, like, how it feels like sometimes you just want to like crush your dreams up and kind of throw them away kind of thing is what I got from it. But still continuing to move towards your dreams even if they feel really far away from you, or even if it feels like it's never going to happen. I guess the message was very inspirational for me. Kind kind of reminds me just to like keep on moving ahead, even if things are slow or even if you're having a bad day. Better days will come. So yeah, again, song was Aurora by Asahi Nemui. Also, thank you guys for listening to my rambling for like so many minutes now. I feel bad a little bit for rambling. But for anyone who's interested, like, yeah, I just realized it was one of the inspirations that kind of made me want to do this stuff again. Yeah, I guess sometimes I wonder if I would have just sat there then for however much longer, not attempting my VTube model then. How much longer would I have done that? It's kind of a scary thought. Because I probably would have kept going until I thought I was like even more like had more skills or something. Because like I was saying earlier, I'm sorry guys, I said that like 15 times a stream, I swear. I was like, dang, I lost the words. I said, as I was saying earlier, like, yeah, every project I would do was kind of like, okay, this is practice for my VTube model in the future. So I just wonder how much longer I would have done that if I didn't get the inspiration to want to continue, the inspiration to actually take the next step forward. I'm not sure. Would I have done it? I guess I'll never know. But in any case, I'm happy that I am doing it because I'm having a lot of fun doing it. I feel like it's the first time I've felt so fulfilled in my own art journey that, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I just feel very fulfilled right now, I guess, with my art stuff. Oh yeah! Wait, that's why I mentioned it. Yeah, I was thinking I might do, want to do fan art of that, VTuber. I just don't know if I should stream it or not, or if I should do it off stream. Might be cool to have it on stream though. I'm sure you guys would probably want to see that. I'm just not sure if that's normal when you do fan art. I want to do that for Merryweather too. I wanted to stream doing fan art of Merryweather. I'm not sure how other people see that, I guess. Or if the creators themselves are okay with that. I guess it wouldn't hurt to ask. But, kind of don't want to ask that at the same time, because then I feel like it just sounds like you're telling them that you also stream, and it's, I don't know, that sounds kind of weird to me. Because, like, I feel like that's one of the hard things, is I really want to have, like, connections with other streamers as well. But it kind of, what is it, like, you don't want to just, like, oh yeah, I stream too. Like, I think it just kind of feels like you're taking away from what they do, I guess. Maybe that's just how I view it, but I just don't want to cause anyone to feel like that, if you know what I mean. I think I need to fix this. Oh yeah, that's also to say that I'm not really sure, like, even though I've done a lot of research on, like, VTubing and stuff, networking is one of those things I feel like is very difficult, and I don't know how to go about that at all. So I just have never really bothered with it. I do have some wonderful streaming friends whom I've met along the way. And big thanks to all of them as well. It's been really nice knowing everyone. But when it comes to like actually like networking with people, I think it's important to keep everything very casual. I feel like, I don't know, it's something that just comes naturally. So I don't want to push that type of thing. That's why I don't really want to ask if I can stream it. I think it's just a weird question, maybe. Also, I feel like the position of this foot has changed entirely, and I really don't know what I'm doing with this foot. I kind of stink at drawing toes, too. It's, like, really bad. I don't really need to draw them, but I think it'd be nice to have the base idea down. Oh my gosh, I stink so bad. It doesn't work. It doesn't look right. Yeah, how would you guys go about this situation? I really do want to stream it. I think that'd be cool. Oh, that was the term I was looking for. Yeah, I didn't want to be like an attention seeker. That's what it is. I don't want to come off that way. Oops. There we go. Okay, that is so much better, I think. I think that's better. What are we thinking? I need to, like, obviously get the clothes now on here. I'm trying to trim some of this stuff away just to make it a little bit more clear. You know, I kind of feel like I talked about a lot of different subjects in this stream. Compared to most streams I have, like, I don't feel like I've touched as many subjects as this before in a single stream. It's kind of crazy. I still can't get over the Twitter thing, though. The interests. Having wheat thins and Oreos and M&Ms as an interest? Like, what? Where did this come from? It's still mind-boggling. Because I'm still trying to think, like, what kind of tweet would you even see like that? Regarding those things. Unless it's, like, for ads or something? Like, why? I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying a lot of different methods right now to try to learn Japanese. I feel like there's more stuff I'm interested in that are Japanese than when I was learning Korean. So I think that helps. So like there's anime, there's songs which I really like. I've always liked lots of Japanese songs. I grew up with a lot of that stuff as a kid, so. And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I'm actually still trying to watch Cardcaptor Sakura. I heard it was like a good like original, I guess. So I feel like I did the ankle on the wrong side. Um okay, yeah, I might have. But yeah, so I was also trying to watch Cardcaptor Sakura. Not the right one. Oh no, it's not there anymore. Let me do this. Okay. I'm only on episode like 25, I think. But I'm really enjoying it so far. I think it's actually a really good one. Turn off the subtitles for. I think one of my friends said that one of the good methods of learning Japanese is watching like Japanese kid shows. I haven't really been able to find many of those, but I think my understanding has gotten a little bit better of it. And I pretty much know hiragana now. I think I just need to practice more katakana. I need to get into that, and then I need to learn kanji. Because I'm not gonna, this is the language I said, you know what, I'm not gonna do the easy route like what I did with Korean, how I didn't really learn too much actual stuff. Like, it doesn't really make sense what I did with that one. But I'm actually going to try to learn kanji the best I can. I think it's kind of needed because, like, a lot of the words, though you can say them in hiragana, you kind of need to know kanji, especially like for reading purposes. I think it's a little bit different when you're typing it because, at least on phone, for me, I can type it and it will sometimes correct to the proper word that I'm talking about. And while that works, I need to know that it's actually the right word that I'm trying to spell and everything, and I also need to know what other people are saying. So that's why I think it's really important to learn kanji. I will definitely get back to you guys on this when I learn more. But I'm still in like the, what is it, the infancy like phase of learning a language. I still really don't know that much. I know like some very baseline words, I guess, that you might hear a lot in anime and sometimes in songs. But again, that's, some of those words aren't really used in daily life, I guess. Some of them can be. I have heard some used like that. But I think it really depends, and it's why language learning takes time. So bear with me. It'd be kind of cool if I learned some Japanese and then was able to teach what I learn, or methods of learning, to you guys. I need to make sure I know a lot more before I do any learning videos, I feel like. You know, I did also realize I still need to eat today. I should probably do that. It's getting close to bedtime now. Oh no! Yeah, I just realized it is getting really late. Oh no, but I've been drawing for 2.5 hours. I was so into it. No, I won't finish it today! We got most of it done, and wow, I was really like refining the bottom half, and I feel like I didn't refine the top half now. You look at that. Man, how am I gonna do this? Trying to make them all like the same kind of thickness of lines. Or some more thin. There we go. Okay, I need to draw a baseline real quick. Baseline clothing. Don't mind the weird way I'm drawing this. This is not an average way to draw it, I don't think. I'm also gonna do this, put this below, and do like... Should do this as a baseline, like I was trying to say. Right here. Do it a little bit bigger. Maybe I should go with this kind of bluish color. I might need some suggestions, because I'm trying to think of an outfit that isn't involved in my story for her model. That's already a little bit better, brings a little bit of color, I guess. Same layer, let's do... Oh, I almost panicked. For a second I thought I did, the color in the line art on the same layer. That's kind of crazy. This is not gonna be her outfit, guys, okay? But it's a good baseline. I've said that like so many times as well. Oh my gosh. Sorry for repeating myself, guys. I was gonna intentionally make those spots like, different on each side, like size-wise, but then I decided not to. I feel like it looks a little bit sloppy that way, so. I'm not gonna draw the inside of that part, so. We're almost done for today. This is just the base. Once I get the base done, we will end. Because I've been drawing for 2 hours, and probably 30 minutes is more accurate, because I had like 5 minutes of the intro thingy. I can't wait to be able to do like music stuff though. I really want to do that. I'm gonna fix that other hand the next time we come back too. Might even do that off stream, I'm not sure. But yeah. Might have a fan art stream, I guess. We might do an Aaronville stream or PvP stream in the next few days, depending on how stable Final Fantasy's servers are, I guess. Because they haven't been very stable lately from the DDoSes. I know I didn't do the line art here, but I'm just going to fill these in as well. I don't know if I like the look like that or if I should just like complete it. Like, okay, we can just complete it. Okay. Yeah, so that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This was day 316 of streaming every single day, and our 60-second art stream. I hope you guys enjoyed, and also enjoyed my random sporadic rants and just going on and on about all my different interests and past motivations and inspirations. But yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later!